there's one thing that I want to discuss to get off of my chest. I've noticed that over the years, as we have continued to be inspired by music videos and different types of music in the music industry, out of all the videos that I have watched on YouTube, I have seen a repetitive action among a lot of people. And this is on lots of videos on the internet. And that repetitive action is people constantly blaming some of the rappers basically for setting a bad example for younger children. And they also talk about how a lot of the black men have become feminized in the music business, and they're constantly blaming this homosexual thing on basically, why their music pretty much sounds like crap. Well, first and foremost, let me say that although I do agree with the first part about the rappers setting bad examples and their music not being good and how music has changed and it doesn't have much of a meaning to it, I kind of disagree with the part where black men have become feminized and all that different type of stuff and how people blame homosexuality on everything. The reason why I kind of disagree with that is because, you know, it's because for one, we have a lot of rappers out here that are basically living their lives regularly, and yet a lot of people don't even know who they are. And yet the first thing that people do when they find out about their sexuality or that they might have a potential like towards the same sex, the first thing they want to do is bash them, but yet they turn around and yet they support rappers like Young Thug and Daylight and all that, and saying that their antics that they do is basically normal. Well, this is where the black community contradicts themselves, because how can you say that what these rappers do is normal, but yet you turn around and you bash someone that actually is gay in the industry? And a really good example of this is Ice Cube's No Vaseline. Not to mention their Straight Outta Compton movie just recently came out, not too long ago this year. And Ice Cube, if you guys really listen closely to what Ice Cube is saying, he basically talks about a lot of things that has went on in the music industry. Um, you know, although many years have passed and it's over, but honestly, in my opinion, I don't think that a grown man, like, for a grown man to get in a studio and to talk about all this stuff, like, in my opinion, why would he lie about that? If he's really, like, taking out the time to get in this studio and literally slam the industry and talk about everything that went on behind closed doors, don't you think there might be some kind of truth to it? Even though nobody was really there and nobody really knows what really happened. But for him to do this, and not only that, even hearing Tupac make these allegations against these same dudes, there had to have been some kind of truth to it. But yet, this is nothing new, and this has been going on for many, many years. Over 90% of the music industry is either gay or down low or bisexual. I know this, and I'm not even in the music industry. This is something that I know. This is something that has been happening for years. But yet, people tend to get it confused because people are treating homosexuality as some trend or something that is automatically being followed, or yet is a danger to the human species. But let's get one thing clear. Homosexuality in itself has been happening since time began. It's been happening in the BC days, the medieval days, way back in Jesus' time. It's been going on for decades and centuries. Homosexuality in itself has been going on. So a man being gay in the music industry doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. He's just simply gay. Now, people that do homosexual acts to get somewhere in the industry. That's a different thing. So please know the difference. But yet people will still treat it as some demonic thing when some of these dudes were probably already gay before they even got in the music industry. Now, I do agree some of the behavior that is created within the industry is very sick, and yes, it is very bad behind closed doors. But do not use homosexuality as an excuse every single time something goes down. Don't use that as an excuse as some kind of demonic thing, as if homosexuality is the blame for every single thing that goes wrong in the industry. No. People in the industry use homosexuality behavior as a demonic thing to get to where they need to get because they chose to do that. So heterosexuals, because at the end of the day, heterosexuals do what? They do the exact same thing. They go on casting couches, they screw their way to the top, they sleep with somebody to get somewhere, and they do nasty things too. So heterosexuals sleeping their way to the top is just as equally equivalent to a homosexual sleeping their way to the top. So even if these men were straight, if they were really straight as we claim that they were, or as they claim that they were, they wouldn't have even done half of this stuff. They would have walked out the door as soon as they would have been offered that deal to do something nasty to get somewhere. They would have walked out. And as for the men that did participate in it, if they was straight, well, apparently they must wanted to do it because they really cared about getting somewhere in the industry. So that's just my whole partake on that. So don't confuse homosexuality with homosexual behavior to get somewhere. People just automatically treat homosexuality, period, as something that is literally done in a bad way, and so to where whenever they find out someone's gay, they automatically bash them and go, oh well, he's gay, oh well, he's automatically demonic, he's a part of some ritual or something like that, and it's nothing like that. So people need to know the difference. People really need to know the difference. It's just funny to me that, people automatically want to talk about how so many black men are becoming feminized and, talking about, how black men are coming off this way in this specific way. But in all reality, do you people know that ever since time began, men were the originating ones that actually started off the feminization of the heels and the dresses. I mean, look at the Scotsmen back in the days. Did they not wear skirts? But yet nobody judged them. Look at all the men in the fashion industry. 90% of the men in the fashion industry started off that type of stuff, and yet most of them are straight. So I'm not understanding how this is becoming such a danger to society, and I feel the only reason people think this is becoming a danger to society is because it's against some type of belief that they don't believe. So that's just my whole opinion on that.